Tonight, we shall be speaking with one of the opposition coalition leaders, the former Minister of Transport, former Governor of Rivers State, Mr. Rotimi Amaechi, on the agenda of the opposition. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I am Sean Wakimale here in Abuja. Well, it's no longer news that the opposition coalition have come together to present a unified platform, the African Democratic Congress. But there's been reactions, loads of them actually, pouring in. Again, the former presidential candidate of the ADC in the 2023 election, Mr. Dumebi Kachiko, was addressed in another press conference. He says he will challenge the former chairman of the party, Mr. Ralph Nwosu, in court for illegal handling over the party to former Senate President David Mark without due consultation with key members of the party. He was addressing journalists today in the company of some state chairman of the party in Abuja. Mr. Kachiko says the former chairman of the party does not have the power to hand over the party to anyone for coalition without the approval of key officers of the party. He also accused Mr. Nwosu of sidelining and removing state chairmen from their position even when their tenure has not expired. Take a listen to him.
Also, with the active connivance of some people in INEC, did not let them perform in their offices. So essentially what happened was that they wrote letters, they appointed new chairmen in their offices because these people insisted that Nwosu's tenure had lapsed, and Nwosu started appointing new chairmen. And INEC, instead of acting to say there's a convention that brought these people in, INEC looked the other way. Eventually, the same INEC, in wanting to do an arbitration, recognized them as chairmen and brought them to a round table with Nwosu. So I wonder why for 3 years you didn't let them act in their capacity as chairman of different state chapters. But we're still going to the same INEC, that INEC must let us and all Nigerians know who is the chairman of the party. Is there any chairman in this party, or is there a lacuna or a vacuum in this party? We are asking INEC to let us know.
Well, more reactions continue to trail. This one coming from the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Wike, who is asking members of the opposition coalition movement to stop using Nigerians for their personal affair, challenging them to present their scorecard when they held public offices. Take a listen to him.
To rescue Nigeria. I heard the Dubai say, to rescue Nigeria. Nigerians are angry. The man was Senate President for how many times? 2 times, 8 years. Is it not? Yeah. Nigerians were happy. Nigerians were happy when he was Senate President for 8 years. And there was no single project to Otubo. Not one. He was flying with a helicopter to go to Otubo. Nigerians were not angry then. Nigerians are only angry now. It's not correct. When Rotimi was minister for 8 years, Nigerians were not angry. When Nigeria became indebted, Chinese loan, Nigerians were happy. It's now Nigerians are angry. He went and made Nigeria to be so much indebted with loans. That time Nigerians were happy. You see, it's unfortunate for we. You use Nigerians and play politics up and down.
Well, it's a seismic shift, like I said, it is yesterday in our political landscape, where we saw former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Labour Party's Peter Obi, former Cardinal Governor Nasir El-Rufai, former Senate President David Mark, and a long list of key opposition figures all come converged in one room and confirming the taking over of the African Democratic Congress as the official springboard for the United Front ahead of 2027 election. This is coming after months of negotiation. But tonight, one of the leaders of the ADC, or the Opposition Coalition Group, is the former governor of Rivers State and the former Minister of Transportation, Mr. Rotimi Amaechi, is live for us on the program tonight. Your Excellency, thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
Thank you indeed.
How are you?
Yeah. Have you officially resigned from APC?
Yes, I did.
When was this?
Well, I think it was on Tuesday.
Oh, so recent.
Yes.
So you resigned from the ward or from the state?
From the ward, where I actually resigned. I'd already transmitted my letter to the ward chairman. So I directed one of my staff from my village to convey the letter to the ward chairman that I've left the party, if there was any party called APC, by the way.
So you don't think that there is APC in Rivers?
You know, we have so much noise going on. Let the minister for FCT, but I don't want us to make him the subject of the debate or of the conversation. Let him come. Let's take a walk from the airport to Port Harcourt. No police, no army, nothing. Just two of us.
What would that tell us?
Who is more popular?
Oh, are you more popular?
I don't know. I just stated that. Can you please go to the other things? There's so much noise. I don't know why he doesn't respect people like us. I'm older. I brought him up in politics.
You did?
Of course.
He said he was God, not you.
Who is he? Or who was he? Can we go to something else? No. Can we please?
Former governor,
can we focus? No. This is about ADC and ADA. This is about the opposition and Tinubu's government. Simple. Let's not focus on. You see, he's a distraction. If the opposition continues to focus on him, we will be distracted from making the people know that this 2027 election is between the people. There's no party, no ADC, no ADA, not this. Nigerian people versus.
Why were you so quiet when the furore about Fubara and Wike was going on until it was settled? No one heard your voice, and they thought that you were a leader of the party. In fact, those who think that you are Wike's godfather, politically speaking, why didn't you intervene?
Why should I intervene? Did you see the outcome?
What do you make of the outcome?
Don't you get impressed by my reaction? That at the end of the day, when somebody has surrendered, at the end of the day, you can see the looting going on in the government.
There's looting going on?
You don't know that?
I'm not aware.
Are you ready to interview me?
Absolutely.
Okay, so please go to the issues.
The issues are, you know the reason why I cannot gloss over Rivers State?
Okay, the answer is
because
no comments.
There's no comment on this program. Because, look, Mr. Amaechi.
You will turn this into...
No.
You will turn this into who is Wike, who is Fubara. They are not my age mates. I'm older. I was governor before them. I hardly stole any money. I didn't steal any money from government. I don't have houses the way they have houses. I did not take civil servants' quarters. I don't drive Rolls Royce, even though Johnny Bata gave me one. Johnny Bata gave me one Rolls Royce in 2014. Till today, I have not driven it. Till today. In fact, it's so bad. It's gone so bad. I say they can sell it if they see a buyer. I don't look. Can we? You don't make this into. If that's what you call me for, then I will leave here. Let's address national issues.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't, you see, we're talking about hunger. We're talking about Nigerians that are dying, 200%.
But you are not hungry. You said you were hungry the other day.
We're talking about Nigerians who are dying of hunger. We're talking about the killings in Benue, the killings even in Port Harcourt, the killings in Sokoto, the killings in Boronu. We're talking about the fact that you can't drive at night. You're scared. I got somebody who came to visit me the other day. We just going to his hotel and come out of his cell. They came, pointed gun at him, took his wristwatches, his phone, everything.
In Abuja here?
Who say he's a medical doctor. He came visiting. And if you are visiting to me, I said, can I offer you accommodation? He said, oh, no, I already got an accommodation. I said, okay, so let's see tomorrow.
Let me ask you. You said you have left the APC. But are those who think that you worked for Bola Tinubu to becoming president? Did you?
No comments. Please go to something else.
You had said that you did not vote for him. Or did you at any point work
Can you
for...
go to something else?
So you did anti-party activities? Just for a moment.
No.
You did anti-party activities at the time.
The issue before us now
Yeah.
is not about who worked for who and who didn't work for who.
But the question is that there are those who have said he who comes to equity must come with clean up. We need to also interrogate those of you who are in the opposition.
Well, I'm not in the opposition because Tinubu didn't give me anything. Trust me, I'm not interested.
But did you work for him?
I don't want to know. I don't want to answer you. I'm not interested in... Look, I didn't plan that if Tinubu wins, I'll go, morning, sir, please make me a minister. How did I survive in this kind of system? Workers are being old, contractors are being old for 1 year. No, tell me why there won't be madness going on in the street. Tell me why people won't be killed. The economy is just not moving. So if workers, MPA, contractors are being owed for 1 year, Nigerian Post Authority that collects dollars, and I'm told that workers are being owed for 1 year. I mean, contractors are being owed for 1 year. The master, no. Please, now don't ask me questions about Minister FCT. Fubara did this. That's not.
No, I've moved past.
Okay, so don't also ask me who worked for Tinubu, who didn't work for. That's 2000.
But I'm interviewing you. I'm the one who asked the question.
Yes. So the question should. You
are the student. You will not determine your questions.
No, you can't.
Would you?
You can.
You can determine your questions.
Yes, when open book exams.
But this is not open book. Because the Nigerian people,
yes.
what
Nigerians want to hear is not whether Amaechi worked for Tinubu, President Tinubu, or not. They're not interested.
We need to put that on a scale.
Yeah, no, I don't want to.
We need to know whether Rotimi Amaechi did well for the people of Rivers State.
Oh yeah,
whether he did well for the people of Nigeria for 8 years under Buhari.
So ask those questions. Don't ask me.
The question is that
ask that question. Don't ask me whether I work for Tinubu.
And we're getting there.
Whether I work for Tinubu or I work for.
We're moving there. So because I'm curious though as to your former association and why Nigerians need to trust you now that you have moved to the other side.
Shehun, do you trust me?
I don't know whether I can trust you politically. I know you personally, but politically
so
speaking...
personally, do you trust me?
Well, I think I do.
Do you trust that I speak my mind?
I know that you speak your mind.
Do you trust that I'm an honest man?
Well, that is debatable.
Okay, so please tell me.
Because you're a politician.
No, don't say that now.
Because you're a politician.
The character you bring in your personal life is what you carry as you go to government. So go back, forget politics.
Can Nigerians trust you?
Why can't Nigerians trust me? So you can't be honest. You can't be, okay, they accuse me of being brash. You can't be honest without being trusted. You know where I stand at any point in time. Let any Nigerian say, Amaechi deceived me. Let the person come forward. I'm waiting for any Nigerian that said, I had a dealing with Amaechi, or I had a conversation with Amaechi, or I had a meeting with Amaechi and I was deceived. So know where I stand.
So there was no corruption under your watch when you were governor?
I'm waiting for those who say they have evidence, they should bring it forward.
What about when you were minister?
I'm waiting for the evidence.
I mean, there are those who believe that you are one of those who ran Nigeria into debt under your office because you took a lot of China loans for some of the...
You know, people. Again, I hear the FCC minister take millions of them. The actual truth, I don't know who ever took that. In my ministry, we had about 1.4, 1.6 billion loan dollar, with which we constructed Lagos Ibadan. We did not get the loan for Kano Maradi, which we applied for before I left. But it was approved. But Kano Maradi is under construction. We did not get the loan for Kano Kaduna before I left. But it was approved. Kano Kaduna is under construction. They should say what they have done since they came to office. And I tell people, I say, Buhari never called me one day and say, go and do the following things. He gave you a free hand to do whatever he wanted to do. So when you bring those ideas to him and say, these are things I want to do, including the fact that we did a rail from Port Harcourt to Aba, what we have not done is to build the stations. I was expecting the current government to go and build those stations so that you can know that you have completed the rail from Port Harcourt to Aba. Why people don't believe that we have done the rail from Port Harcourt to Aba is because there are no two stations. There were supposed to be two very giant stations. One very big, massive station. One in Aba.
Why didn't you do it?
Because I left office now. They have to finish dealing with the rail line before they build the stations.
But
by the time I left,
that project was supposed to terminate before you left.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
When was it supposed to terminate?
It was supposed to terminate in the next. It was supposed to terminate 2025 or 2026. So it's from there to what's it called? from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri. So it's not just Port Harcourt to Aba. But having constructed in our time Port Harcourt to Aba, the next thing to do is to put the two stations that were meant for that place, those two cities. One in Port Harcourt, one in Aba. He said we should say what we did, those of us in opposition. So I constructed the Lagos-Ibadan Railway. I'm sure if you're going to Ibadan, you may have used it. And Nigerians were extremely happy about it. I completed the railway from Kaduna to Abuja, which was started by President Goodluck Jonathan. I completed, by the way, those who say, oh, what did you do in the south? I completed the railway from, what's it called? This area near Lokoja to Warri. Itape to Warri. Completed. So those coming from the south who are coming to Abuja will stop at Itape. We built a taxi park. You take a taxi, 2,000 naira. So it costs you less. It costs you less than 4,000 to reach Abuja. Instead of flying 60,000 naira by air. Because the people matter. We are not like President Tinubu who say, I'm not here to make you happy. We are there to make Nigerians happy.
But how do you
No,
just for a moment. Do you know how
I finished telling you the things I did as a minister.
Let me ask you. Do you know how people rate the Buhari government which you served under?
I hope you know that they're not asking for Buhari to come back.
Who are those?
Nigerians.
Really?
Because by that time, a bag of rice was at what cost? What's the bag of rice now? How much was dollar then? Maximum by the time we left off, it was below 700. Now you're talking about 1,600. No, tell me now.
The Buhari government.
If I go to close to Minister of Transport, they will carry me high. They will take me up. They will praise me because we had human relationship.
Let me ask you. The Buhari government has been touted as the one who literally destroyed our economy, who left our economy in shambles. Our economy was almost in the graveyard when Buhari government left. And that's the government you served.
First, you are not being fair to the Buhari government. But
I'm not the one who said it.
Okay,
the economists who said that our economy under Buhari was in tatters.
No problem. So let's assume it's true. This one is burying it. The current government has completely buried the government.
With all of the economic policies.
What economic policies?
The removal of subsidy, the flotation of the naira,
any economic policy that does not put money in the pockets of individual Nigerians is not an economic policy. Okay, there's a question I've been asking. Suddenly, I don't know whether it's the IMF or World Bank that has joined me to ask that question. You are making savings from removing subsidies, from floating naira. Please, where is the money?
What about this? Federating units are getting lot more.
What about inflation? So you get 60,000 naira, for instance. In Buhari's government, that will buy you 10 tires, let's assume. You get today 120,000 naira. You buy only 4. So which one do you prefer?
But this government has said we're making hard decisions that will better the lot of Nigerians down the road.
You have seen me say I have never criticized those economic policies. What I'm saying is that there is an outcome to those economic policies. Where is the money going to?
But you are one of the leaders. You are one of the formers of the APC. Yes. Why should Nigerians look at you kindly? It is your party. You preach the party to Nigerians. You are one of the founders of the party. And now you are telling Nigerians that we should not look at the party any longer.
You should ask me a question. Why did Nigeria vote for a man who today is president? You didn't ask hard questions, you Nigerians. You didn't say to me, what has he done in the past? Where is his factory? Where is his office?
Well, your party gave him the ticket.
Well, for Christ's sake. The party did not wake up and say, gentlemen, take the ticket. Nigerians came and voted for the ticket.
No, your party members gave the...
But it was a collegiate decision. Are they not Nigerians?
They are Nigerians, okay, so but they are party members. So hold on there. Party members.
So hold on there. Those Nigerians in APC who gave him the ticket, didn't they know? Those governors who stood out and convinced their people to vote for him, didn't they know that we're talking about a candidate that is here to show that he is a capitalist? You know what a capitalist is? A capitalist is a man who applies capital to production. Which means there must be something you must have a factory somewhere, you must have an industry somewhere, you must have an idea of what to do. So if this government thinks, do you know how many Nigerians have died? Do you know how many Nigerians are committing suicide? No, you that is asking this question, is your life better than when Buhari was in government. You were in base. You paid your school fees easily. Can you still pay the school fees now?
Governor Amaechi.
School fees in base when Buhari was in government was 1 million naira. Is it 1 million naira now? The owner of the school simply tells you, I have to increase the school fees because the cost of fuel is high. I run diesel, and this is how much I spend to run diesel. If I go in the so-called band A, this is how much I pay. So who bears the cost? Not him, the children that have been trained. If you don't pay the school fees, those children won't be trained. Now, let me tell you the worst thing that we're doing now. The worst thing we're doing in this government is that at the end of the day, we may eclipse the poor. There is no middle class. So in Nigeria, there are just two classes. There's nothing like middle class, the rich, and the poor. Now, it's either you're the rich class, and the rich class is tumbling straight away to the poor class. They are disappearing too. So you have a society in this current government where only those who are members of this government are the rich class, while the poor is increasing. But as we are going, it will get a day that you may not likely see the poor. It will only be the rich class, because they will have all died.
There is a moral question here. And those who will be asking you, at some point when when the new PDP emerged, turned into the APC, and now there are those who are not happy with the present state of the PDP, and you are leading those people and forming ADA and ADC. The question is, why should Nigerians trust you? Because you said to Nigerians that PDP was not the way. Now you're saying that APC is not the way.
Okay. So let's start with PDP. We disagreed with the way PDP was running government.
Under Jonathan?
Yes. And we queried it. We tried to consult amongst ourselves, tried to talk to them and all that, and the changes were not being made. But again, you will say to yourself, don't forget that the governors then were governors. Now, governors can't even talk. When I heard that the chairman of Governors Forum was appointed by the president, I almost collapsed. The disagreement between President Jonathan and the Governors Forum was because he wanted to appoint for us a chairman, and we refused. We asked for election. And the election took place, and I had 19 votes as against Jang, who had 16. So, and we had a voice. Do you still have that voice now? The answer is no. Everybody's on the run. Now, when we thought that, okay, so let's go join the new party that's coming up, APC and all that, we thought we had an agenda. Did everybody, was all this thing fulfilled? The answer is no. Not everything was achieved. Buhari will tell you that he didn't achieve all that he planned for, but at least it's better than the current government. By all standards. In terms of security, President Buhari focused on security. In transportation, I'm open to any challenge on transportation. Again, the independence of INEC was higher in Buhari's government than now. Now, they can't even register a party because government officials are telling them not to register a party. So how do you make INEC an umpire when he's already listening to government and making sure that government does not register a party? Those who applied to INEC for registration, their rents have
So
expired.
the question is, are you not complicit in what you condemn this government of?
Because
you are one of those who preach this party to Nigerians.
I look like the president.
No, but you are his friend. You sat side by side with him to form the APC.
I praise you. You're a Yoruba man like him, so you're his brother.
So what am I to you?
You're my brother, because you're Nigerian. But most importantly, so
interesting thing, I'm from Kwara. I'm a northerner.
When it fits you, a northerner. Shehu is another name. It's no longer a Yoruba name.
But the big question here is that there are those of you, and you have questioned, you asked, what did the president do before coming into power? The question they will ask you also, what have you done?
No, you must compare the amount of wealth, the money that I have.
So you're a poor man?
Am I a rich man?
You tell us.
No, you should.
Are you able to declare your wealth?
Tomorrow morning.
You are able to declare what you
Tomorrow
have.
morning.
From when, before you became speaker? Because there are those who will say, what has Amaechi done all his life aside being in government? Speaker, governor, minister.
Have you met my wife before?
You said what?
Have you met my wife before?
Yes, I have.
What does she do?
I don't know.
So let's go and ask.
No, we're talking about you,
Go
not
and
your
ask.
wife.
My wife is almost an industrialist. My wife buys and sells anything apart from myself and my children. She's the backbone, economic backbone to the family. Anybody who knows us know that. She's a bloody trader. She's from Anambra. Even as governor, my wife was selling inside government house. So don't ask me that question.
So
the question
you are relying on your wife's wealth.
The problem
literally, you are not the breadwinner. Are you the breadwinner? Because when you say that your wife is the economic backbone,
for the interview or not?
We are having a conversation.
No.
Because we have to also query those of you who are pushing for an alternative, whether Nigerians can trust that alternative.
What you're doing now is that you're making it a personal interview.
No, it's not personal.
No, it's personal. You're asking questions about my personal
life.
No.
Everything will come to the table.
That what
Nigerians will debate it. Nigerians will scrutinize it. That's what I'm asking.
No. Focus on.
So it's not about wealth alone. It's about capacity. Whether or not you have the capacity. Aside being a governor.
Can you recall when I was a governor?
I can, definitely. You know that I covered politics
so Did I perform?
No, it's not up to me to judge.
No, but you, for Christ's sake,
I've interviewed you several when you were governor.
Okay, so did you see that I built primary schools in literally every village? Primary schools that had computers, primary schools that had either generator or solar panels, primary school in which I employed, is it 19,200 teachers or 13,200 teachers? That's my successor almost dismissed them. That I had established farms for purpose of creating employment, that I had town hall meetings in literally every village in River State. When I go for town hall meetings, I go with the contractors, I go with the commissioners who are from that area, and I ask them questions. I tell the people, I have received 10 billion naira this month. I deployed it as follows. And this contractor has been paid 100 million for this job, or 200 million, or 1 billion for this job. Has he done it? Let's go and see.
So you say that you were a performer when you were governor. Is that what you described yourself?
So when you were interviewing me, when you were visiting River State, what were you coming for?
To interview about the governance.
Did you see anything?
No, it's not up to me to
answer. So why? No, because
the question is that you have the opportunity to be able to tell Nigerians whether or not Rotimi Amaechi is that kind of... There are a lot of people who are watching you now who cannot even remember when you were governor.
Okay, so let's leave governorship. Let's talk about ministerial.
You've spoken about that today.
Okay, so why?
Let me ask you.
You need to move from what did Amaechi do? Because I have told you several times what I did as either a minister or as a governor,
you know the reason,
or as a speaker.
You know the reason why I'm asking you this question is very critical.
That's what?
Because Nigerians need to gauge what they have and what are the alternatives and the options that they have. So now, just a moment. You look at the government you serve, for example. This was a government that ran ways and means in a way that is undescribable.
Okay.
Printing money.
Okay. So wait. Compare that to the amount of loan that this current government has taken in dollars. You will never be able to pay it.
The criminality of ways and means and printing of the naira.
No problem. So how much was that? As in comparison,
there is no criminality in collecting loans.
Okay, so
it's not a crime to collect loans. Didn't you collect loans as a governor?
Is it a crime to print money? Is the responsibility of the government to print money?
In the manner in which they went about it.
What is the manner in printing money?
Someone is held in custody because of some of these issues.
Can you tell me the manner? No, if anybody is held in custody, it's not for printing money.
It was egregious. It was sacrilegious. The manner in which they went about the running of the CBN under that government. And a lot of facts are coming out. What happened in the Buhari government?
My problem is I'm accused of being biased. Because honestly,
I've heard that so many times.
The government
from everywhere. So
the current government is worse than whatever the President Buhari's government must have done.
Really?
No, of course.
In the last in 2 years.
Check. Of course. The money they have currently borrowed. If Buhari had lasted for 10 years, he wouldn't have borrowed that kind of money. When a colleague of mine came to borrow money, came to the cabinet, came to the cabinet and said, look, we want to borrow money to do X, Y, Z. I won't call the project. If I call the project, we're not the minister. Buhari overruled that memo. Buhari stopped that memo and said, no, only Ministry of Transport and some other ministries that have essential projects that will be allowed to borrow money. But this one, it will not fly.
Quickly, before we go on this break, I'd like to know, will you be running for president?
Well, let me answer you this way. The answer would have been outright yes. But what did we agree? What did we agree in the coalition? Everybody should keep aside his ambition. Let's first get a platform. Let's build the platform before you come out with the idea of running for presidency. So you won't get a direct yes answer because that will be...
But you still have the ambition. You're not seeing the ambition.
That will be annoying the coalition. So until the coalition completes, first we have gotten a platform. Having finished with getting the platform, the next thing is building the platform. Populating the platform, getting Nigerians to believe in the platform. And you see, we're not going to make it so come and join ADC. No. This election will be the President Tinubu and the bandits against Nigerians.
The question here is that I just wanted to establish whether you still want to be Nigeria's president.
Did you get my answer?
I understand it.
I said that.
No, you wanted to become president, or you wanted to become president, and you having the I have the ambition to become a president, and I'm not wanting to become a president. There are two different things.
Please teach me.
So you might have an agenda. I will never run for office. I don't want to do politics. But do I want to live in this country, or do I want to help my state out? Yes, I want to. But do I want to be? So the question is that, do you still have the ambition of becoming president?
You want me to repeat the answer I gave to you?
No.
The answer
ambition
I gave,
and whether or not you are pushing it now is
the answer I gave to you is that those of us who have ambition to be president must keep it aside. That's what the
from the grapevine. I even understand that you are actually the coalition. That you are one of those who actually bettered the coalition.
Can we move forward from that? Whatever grapevine it is, can we move forward? The coalition has stated that to all politicians who have ambition to be president, governor, or anything, can we first and foremost build a platform? Can we first and foremost get a platform? We've got a platform. Can we build it? After that, you can express your ambition.
All right.
Then all of us will express the ambition. And can I lead Nigeria? The answer is yes. I've led as speaker, and I was one of the best speakers this country.
And you think you have the capacity more than the president in office?
Of course. Nigerians won't be this hungry if I become a president. There is absolutely no way that you have insecurity. Don't forget that when I became governor of Rivers State, there was huge insecurity. Huge insecurity. In 6 months, I cleared it. Why do they forget so easily?
Let's take a breather, Governor Amaechi, and we'll back to talk about ADC, ADA, and 2027 in the present government in office. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Powered by Grassroots Movement for Tinubu GMT, Ondo State Chapter, GMT. In God we trust.
Staying with us. Let's get back to the conversation. The former governor of Rivers State and former minister of transport, Mr. Rotimi Amaechi. Thanks so much, Your Excellency, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So let's get to
member of APC.
You. That's
you.
But I thought they always call me that I'm against their party. You know, because I've covered politics for so long and I've heard so many names. So, but I'm happy that you're calling me one name today. Today that it doesn't favor you. But let's get to it.
Yes.
In all of this, the ADC and ADA, clarify to us.
But before I clarify that to you, let me tell you quickly. You see, on this your question of whether I want to be president or not, you know what I will do in the next 3 to 4 weeks? I'll publish my birth documents to show my age, publish my qualification, my certificates, how many degrees I have. First degree University of Port Harcourt, master degree University of Port Harcourt, and that law degree in Bayes University, King's College, master degree in law. I hope that I will pass the next exam and I'll publish it, and that degree from University of London, law degree, and then Bachelor of Law, Law school. By the way, somebody tried to stop me from going to law school. Call the DG not to admit me, and DG said, "What is his offense? That I shouldn't admit him." Then I'll publish it. Then I'll publish my state of health. to reassure Nigerians that if I'm made president, I will not go to hospitals. Because I hardly go to hospitals. I just go to hospital for a checkup.
But thank God for good health.
Yes, I thank God for good health.
That we may not be able to contrast human beings.
Yes, but I'm saying that if I'm in bad health, I won't contest. Because that would mean...
But will you be able to also tell Nigerians that this is, if you were president, for example, and you have issues?
Everything. I'll publish from head to toe. Both in Nigeria and anywhere else. I do my medical checkup in Nizimea. I will show you the result from Nizimea. The last one I did was in one hospital called Dr. Physic. Yeah, in Apo, legislative quarters.
So you're very strong, healthy.
I walk 23, 24 kilometers a day, 4 times a week.
I saw the way you were running around the stadium.
That stadium. Yesterday we ran 16 kilometers and walked the remaining. We ran 16 kilometers. My staff, they complain every day. My doctor begs me, can you do 10?
At 65?
At 60. I'm not at 65. You want to kill me? Okay, but let's go to ADA and ADC.
ADC. What is going on?
All of us belong to ADC. Every member of the opposition who belongs to the coalition is a member of the ADC. Are we stopping at that? No, the answer is no. The answer is that I had a committee with the mandate of the coalition to pursue the registration of ADA. Now, if INEC had registered ADA, we would probably not have bothered about going to ADC. So it's INEC that is frustrating the political space is closed for the benefit of APC. You know, I come to say that the INEC chairman is not ashamed.
How do you mean? Because today they published the procedure of registration.
Other procedure, most of them have been complied with. In fact, what is holding ADA for now is that we are yet to bring the address of our offices and the officers of the party. That will submit.
But why do you say that they are blocking it?
Okay, but
you have not completed
no,
the
there
procedure.
are others that are completed. It's a 101. I can tell you before. The ADA is a new thing. There were others that, I don't want to call the other parties that had gone ahead for registration. And INEC just ignored it completely. Their rents have expired. So the chairman of INEC is deliberately doing that so that there will be nobody fighting APC. And they're not even ashamed that after they organized the worst election. I will be ashamed.
Which election is that?
The last presidential election. The last election. The 2023 election. And the way things are going, I doubt that if we're not careful, if Nigerians don't stand up, because Nigeria, what ADC will do, and I said that all of us will do that, is to mobilize Nigerians to rise, to vote, and to stop these people from rigging, including the INEC. Because those who constitute this rigging machine are not up to 10, in fact, 2% of the population. The rest, 98, must get up and stop them. Because if not, you start crying again. You know why I laugh? When people were voting in Lagos, some of them were voting, this is my brother. Now, the market has no brother or sister. The market only recognizes one thing, money.
Those of you there, some of people have been described as geriatrics, those who are old and spent.
I'm 60.
Oh, you may be one of the youngest.
Okay, but I'm 60. I will not run an election at 70. I'm not joking.
But
because at that point, it's not as if my
but there are 80-something-year-olds, there are 70-something-year-olds.
At 70, I'm out of politics. What am I doing there? When will my son come into politics? My son is harassing me every day. He wants to come into politics. But I say, no, you can't be in politics when your father is in politics.
When you look at the coalition, the camp from the APC are appointees who served in the Buhari government. Yes. You are there. Abubakar Malami is there. Yes. Another loyalist of former President Buhari are also there. Should we say the Buhari camp of the APC has something against Bola Tinubu?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Mine is my conviction about Nigeria. I've always held very strong views about Nigeria. From student union. Don't forget I was a student union leader at the University of Port Harcourt. Don't forget that we were those who fought against the Buhari's government, military government, and Babangida's government under NANS. And in NANS we had what we call the Marxist movement of Nigeria. When I left and I joined politics, don't forget I was a speaker. And when as a speaker, I ran the parliament as something that belonged to the people. Then I became governor. So it's not as if Buhari's government is anti-Tinubu or not. It's immaterial. What's material? If Tinubu was doing well, believe me, I'll be the first to sing praises.
But you think he's not doing well? Are you giving him a benefit of the doubt when he says that, look, it's going to be momentary. The pain will be momentary,
2 years,
but the gains are going to come?
2 years. We have entered the third year. People are dying.
And you describe this government as the worst.
Tell me one that they are better than.
They will say Buhari.
Oh, please say something else. Okay, so let them tell what they have done. We didn't complete 30 kilometers of road and we call somebody to commission at how much? Look, Buhari will insist on due process. Let them tell us how they arrived at the contractor for the coastal rail. They should tell us how they arrived at the contractor for the coastal rail. And they said they've commissioned 30 kilometers. 30 kilometers? We forced Buhari to commission the Lagos-Ibadan Railway. He didn't want to. Buhari did Lagos-Ibadan. Is that 30 kilometers? I feel ashamed when President is called to commission 16 kilometers of road. That's what local government chairman commission. Myself as a minister, I will not be there. I will turn this interview to you. Are you better off now than you were when you
know, because I'm the interviewer. So
no. It's a conversation.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a conversation where you, as the interviewee, answers the question from the interviewer.
No. This is a conversation. No, this is a conversation. Tell Nigerians, Sheun, if you are being honest. if you're not in APC.
You want to be the interviewer.
If you are not in APC.
You are not qualified.
If you are not in APC.
You are not qualified. You need to go and understand how to be on this side.
Be honest to Nigerians. If you are not in APC. Is your life today better than when Buhari was in government?
It's those of you who are in politics that will have the debate. But let me put this into
this is not a debate. This is not a debate. This is about
conversation.
This is about facts.
Yeah, no, but
how much was a bag of rice? How much was a bag of rice? How much was a bag of rice under Buhari? How much was a bag of rice?
Let me show you this. This is what Festus Keyamo says. And he said, he was referring yesterday, he said, what happened earlier today with the movement of the so-called coalition into the ADC is the greatest factor that has strengthened the APC ahead of the 2027 elections. Let me explain. By law, you cannot operate from or belong to two or multiple political parties. So it is safe to say that their open declaration for ADC today is a clear abandonment of their previous parties. In fact, belonging to two political parties is a ground for disqualification in an election. Therefore, the emergence of ADC as presently constituted marks the former disembowelment of the PDP, either through Nigeria's strongest opposition party. Where I want you to look at again, he said, the other addition to the so-called coalition is a sprinkling of APC members who actually worked against President Bola Tinubu in the last election. He also mentioned that the coalition is an association of former this, former that. How do you react to that?
Who is Blessing speaking?
That's what Keyamo.
I brought him into APC. I brought him to politics. I made him Buhari spokesman. He didn't say anything bad about Buhari. He didn't say anything bad about me.
Well, let's stay on the issue that he raised.
Well, I'm coming one after the other. He didn't say anything bad. But you know what he's doing now?
What do you call it?
He's obeying the instruction that all parents give to their children so that they don't die when eating. Don't talk while eating.
But what about the issue of some of you?
You
said you have resigned. You said you have resigned. So is ADA or ADA is a few play safe measure, right? While ADC is the real front.
Look, when ADA is registered, the management of ADC, as the party officers, will decide what happens next to ADA. But it has to be registered first. It is the choice of Nigerians that will go and register ADA. And we have gone ahead to register ADA. Latest, Monday or Tuesday, we'll supply them with the list of officers, we'll supply them with the list of party secretaries, then we have completed all the requirements of law. Because like INEC will say these are the requirements. They should not forget that some of us are also lawyers. We took our time to read those requirements.
So all the legal encumbrances you have...
By law, nearly 70% of all those associations that went to INEC for registration are parties. But you know Nigeria, until judiciary says you are a party.
But you heard what Kachuku is saying.
What is it?
That he's going to fight it in court.
The ordinarily, you should go to and get an order of mandamus from the court, but only God knows what you go to court, whether you get it or not. Because if you have complied with the law says after 60 days, they should register you. If they've not, after 90 days, you become a party.
Give me another moment. We need to take another break. But when we come back, our closing moment with Governor Rotimi Amaechi. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone. Our closing moment now with Governor Rotimi Amaechi. So, in what way do you think Nigerians would benefit from the ADC? What is the agenda other than you want Tinubu out in 2027 and you want APC packing? Other than that, how would Nigerians benefit?
Why are you being unfair to us?
Is that not the ultimate goal?
To see. No. The ultimate goal is to see a better Nigeria. I like the president. He said nobody should vote for him in 2027 if he doesn't give power. Do you have power? You know, one thing the president must know, I don't know if he does that. Whatever you do it must not be only, it must not be available, it must be accessible. So when you say, I'll provide education, people must be able to pay for the education. If they have no money to pay, they will not provide education. If you say, okay, first Akomo has not provided the power, but let's even assume that he has provided the power. Any power that people can't pay for is not provided. Now, if ADC comes to government, there will be power at an affordable. When I was government, that's what I did. Affordability and accessibility. That is a common word in the cabinet. Every cabinet members know that. So we don't come out and say, okay, we are building primary school fees. No, we said free education. When I was in government as governor, free education at the primary level and free education at the secondary level. I built secondary schools that had 2 children per room with all the infrastructure in place. All teachers were living on campus in flats of 4 bedrooms. Shops, just like my son's school when he was in the UK. That's where I saw it. The primary school I built, I saw in Australia when I was a speaker. Now, so when you say, what will ADC do if it got into power? We'll clear, the first and most important thing is to provide food. You can't clear insecurity if the economy is down. I listened to the NSA and the Chief of Defense Staff, where they said the greatest cause of insecurity is poverty, is hunger. So if we are not able to provide food, then insecurity will continue. And key to ADC and ADC government is that there will be food. There will be food. You see, it's not about the rich. The rich can provide food for themselves. But the poor must have access to those food so that they'll be able to eat. They're not asking for the best the quality of food you're eating.
Are you going to consider, for example, the balance of power?
Between who?
Because we're in the nation. Bola Tinubu will have spent 4 years by 2027. And Peter Obi, for example, said, I won't spend more than 1 term. Would you be considering that too?
Of
or
course.
is the ADC considering
of course.
a 1 term
of course.
for a southerner?
Of course. Let me tell you why. For now, the way Nigeria is, you must keep to that agreement, unwritten agreement that says South 8 years, North 8 years. Okay, that's the question you need to ask. I led a fight against the PDP government. Why? Because there was an agreement that the current government, the government at that time must spend 4 years. And after 4 years, the government reneged. And I said, no, that would be unfair. That would be instability at its peak because the North will react. So the best thing to do is to do what? Is to support another candidate to continue the balance of power. Just like I would be among those saying to the North, no, the South must be allowed to complete their tenure. If the South is not allowed to complete their tenure, then we have made a mistake in supporting.
So if you get a ticket, you only do 1 term.
Of course.
And Nigerians can trust that.
I've told you.
You know this question.
Nigerians know that I speak my mind. Nigerians know that what I can't do, I will not say, including the minister, including the minister of aviation. They know that, including the president. The president knows that. The day the president left my house, he told everybody that came with him, if there's one person I believe in this about trip, is Amaechi. He knows. Anybody who knows me knows I'm open. If I won't do more than 4 years, I'll say that. If I will do more than 4 years, I'll say I will do more than 4 years.
You know the president. You know his political antecedent. You know his capacity politically. Does the coalition have the capacity to unseat him in 2027?
Why not you wait? You know, that's what PDP thought. That's what PDP thought. PDP, as far as PDP was concerned, nobody can remove them from office. Why? Incumbency. The power of the people is by far greater than incumbency. How was the Prime Minister of Bangladesh chased out of office? The people. You can kill as much as you want. You can kill 100 persons if you want to shoot. That's your business. But when the people want their power back, you can't stop them. So ADC has just one responsibility. Don't campaign for an ADC president. Campaign that the people must come out. Because what the president is doing and the APC is doing is to increase voter apathy so nobody comes out that day. Our responsibility is to ensure that...
But do you trust INEC?
I don't.
So you think that the result is already written before 2020?
No. If you say that, people won't come out to vote. Written or not, people should come out and vote and wait in every INEC office and they'll see what will happen.
Let me get your final thought before we close this program. A lot of confusion in the minds of a lot of Nigerians right now. They've seen a lot of you, they've seen all their lives in politics, and they're wondering what way would be best for them. And there's a lot of distrust and disbelief on which way to go. If there is one thing you want to say to Nigerians tonight, as per the hope of this country, what would that be?
Now, we have had a problem in Nigeria. We fought the military. All of us came out. As young as I was in my teens. I was 18. I left university at 22. We fought the military. We successfully removed the military. We need to remove the politicians.
Including yourself?
I don't mind. We need a people's government. And in that people's government, you can look at those politicians who are qualified to actually listen to the people. You see, when people say, oh, there are institutions.
All right. We need to go now. We're totally out of time. Governor Rotimi Amaechi, thank you so much indeed. And it's good to see you again. Thank you so much indeed.
My pleasure.
And that's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Shunwa Kimbale. God bless Nigeria.